Hey, my name is Alex B, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get a girlfriend as an Asian man in just the next 27 days. In this video, I'm going to show you the method that I and 100 Asian clients have used to date beautiful women and find a long-term relationship, and how it's the easiest and fastest way for Asian men to find dating success, and how it's probably a little bit different than anything you've tried before or seen out there. I call it the Asian Attraction Blueprint. Let's go ahead and dive in. How to go on 2 to 3 dates per week and find a long-term relationship. But first, is this even real? So real quick, this is my client, John. He's 45 years old, a security engineer, and before joining the Asian Dating Academy, he felt too old and unattractive, right? So after going through the Asian Dating Blueprint, which we applied, here he says he went on date number 3 and he had 2 more that week. And here he had a second date and it ended up intimate. Another client of mine, Bryant, he's 35 years old and he lives in the Bay Area, which many consider to be super competitive. And he had no previous relationship experience at all. So he was super low in confidence. But after working together, he completely transformed everything about him and his confidence in just a matter of weeks. And then after a couple of months, he ended up getting into a relationship. He says here, still getting used to calling someone my girlfriend. Here's my client, Victor, who is a 46-year-old Indian man in New York City. He's a doctor, okay? And at the time he was fearing getting an arranged marriage because his parents were pressuring him so much to find a partner, to get married already, right? So after we applied the Asian Attraction Blueprint, he literally started getting so many matches that he said, this is a great problem to have, but I have my hands full with Bumble and Hinge. Thanks to you, I have all I can handle. Literally, he couldn't even go on any other sites because he had too many matches. And just to wrap this up, this is my client Luke here. He's 36 years old. He was actually born in China, so English is not even his first language. He's a software engineer. And after applying the Asian Attraction Blueprint, he went on 5 dates in a week and also has been setting up dates with girls in Chinese, even in his native language. So just to show you a little bit of proof behind, the method here. So who is this for? This is for you if you're an Asian man, obviously, and you probably followed the traditional path, right? Getting good grades, getting into a good school, getting a good career and climbing that, that ladder, that path. But you're still missing one last piece in your life to feel, really fulfilled on the inside. And that's a fulfilling long-term relationship. And everybody around you probably told you that once you get a good career, make good money, that woman would just kind of show up in your life. But you're in this place right now where you did all of that and she didn't just show up. Perhaps it's feeling a little bit impossible to get a girlfriend, all right? Because maybe you've had a lot of rejections or failures in the past, or time just feels like it's ticking and you feel frustrated, you feel lonely, you see your friends getting paired up, you feel a bit left behind, and you don't want to settle. Maybe you're getting some dates left and right here or there, but they're not really girls that you're attracted to or that you could see yourself marrying or being with for the long term. And ultimately, you're a smart, dedicated guy. You're a good catch. You just need some help, okay, on this dating side of things. So it's not your fault, to be honest, because 99% of dating advice out there is by white men for white men. And the truth is we are at a disadvantage in Western countries as Asian men. Like, nobody can argue that, okay? We're generally shorter and smaller, and people just perceive us as like nerdy and weak and effeminate, all these stereotypes that the media has lumped on us for literally decades. And the other thing is we're raised in a completely different culture. Our upbringing makes us a certain way in which we have to blend into the Western culture, American culture, and try to date in this culture, which is completely different from the way our parents were raised and the way they raised us, okay? So that has to be taken into account here. So, the truth is ultimately Asian men can go on 2 to 3 dates a week and find a long-term relationship by leveraging the power of online dating if they learn what works specifically for Asian men, okay? And that's what I'm gonna show you. Now, who am I? All right, my name is Alex B. I was born in San Antonio, Texas, in a predominantly white neighborhood. So basically I was kind of the only Asian at all times in my grade. I was made fun of a lot for like chinky eyes and like small dick jokes. I had really low confidence because of that, so I just never went for any girls. I always thought that they were all out of my league. You know, I was the math and piano kid, and you know, I was the only kid on the basketball team, middle school basketball team, which, you know, got me, or the only Asian kid, which got me made fun of a ton by my own team and by opposing teams. So, you know, all throughout grade school, I pretty much had super low confidence, no experience with girls, had a bunch of crushes from afar, and I hit my rock bottom personally in 2018. This was my last year of college, last semester, and I had just been rejected 3 times in a row by 3 different crushes, where I had kind of crushed on them for like 6 to 8 months, and finally, you know, I developed the courage to come out and say something to them. I said like, hey, you know, I really like you, I have feelings for you, and they all said the same exact thing, which was, Alex, you're a really nice guy, but I don't really see you that way. Let's just be friends. And that put me at my personal rock bottom emotionally. Never been in a darker place. I was depressed, I was lonely, I was frustrated, and thinking truly that maybe I would end up dying alone, and just that girls just don't find me attractive because I'm Asian. I truly thought that that was the reason that I couldn't get a girlfriend. Ultimately, I refused to die alone. I hit a point so low that I said, I will do anything. Okay, so what did I start trying? I started trying white dating advice, you know, Google like how to find a girlfriend, how to pick up girls, stuff like that. But that didn't really work out for me. I mean, I gained some nuggets here and there, but I decided that I'm gonna run some experiments because I have a feeling that I need to do something different as an Asian guy. Like, these white people don't understand what I've been through, what I'm going through. And lo and behold, I ended up going on weekly dates with beautiful women. And, you know, it was incredible, it was mind-blowing, and it was too much to handle, to be honest. And now I'm in a relationship with my absolute dream girl, love this girl to death. Something crazy happened after that. My Asian friends started asking me for help. I saw that my success could actually be replicated onto them, which was crazy. And, you know, now I've helped over 100 Asian men replicate my success with my method. So that's what I'm here to share with you. The golden formula for going on 2 to 3 dates every single week and finding a long-term relationship without settling. I call it the Asian attraction blueprint. Okay, so here are the 3 pillars: your attractive Asian character, volume, and communication. Now, your attractive Asian character is discovering what's uniquely attractive about yourself so you can stand out as an Asian, okay? Asian men have to play a different ball game in order to stand out. I'm going to show you how to do that. Volume is simply getting a large volume of opportunities with women, getting face to face with many women so you even have a chance. And communication is communicating with women in a way that makes them want to sleep with you and date you, okay? Asian upbringing and culture raises us to communicate in a way that completely basically makes women not want to sleep with us, all right? So we need to learn the different way of communicating so that they want to date us, they see us as not just someone to put in the friend zone. So let's start with the attractive Asian character. Your attractive Asian character, well, let's start with, you know, the idea of looks and height, right? Because this is a very big thing that men are thinking about all the time. And yes, they can help for dating. It's important to maximize those, and I do help my clients maximize their looks, their fashion, their everything. However, there's a cap on looks and height. And ultimately, if we're competing on looks and height, we're never really gonna beat out, you know, white guys who are better looking, taller, have 6 packs, whatever the case may be. Just in general, the white, you know, aesthetic is gonna be preferred over Asian 9 times out of 10. We must play the game fundamentally different by leveraging the attractive Asian character that's already within you. I'm gonna emphasize that it's already within you. It's not about changing who you are, it's about bringing out this attractive side of you in a way that you have never done before. Let's make a quick analogy, all right? Let's say, you know, we have this cup of coffee right here that you made at home, and it's a really good cup of coffee, right? But, you know, it's just in a plain, simple cup and doesn't look that great. And, you know, if you were to try to sell it, maybe it'd go for 20 cents. Now you have this cup of coffee made from the random, you know, corner store on the street, right? And it's the same cup of coffee. Maybe it doesn't even taste as good, but it looks a little nicer. It has some advantages, right? It has a spoon, a nice, a little plate here. It has some cinnamon sugar, right? It just kind of looks nice, and therefore it can sell for $2. Now, if these two cups are competing, how can we make this cup of coffee sell for more than this one, right? This one just has a few extra perks, a little bit of advantages, right? So we can't try to make a better tasting cup of coffee or add some sugar or whatever. It's just a hopeless game to try to compete on the same playing field. The smarter way is to play on a completely different playing field, like Starbucks, okay? We all know Starbucks doesn't have the best coffee. So how do they charge $7 per cup? Well, they have a brand, okay? They have association with it, prestige, status, coolness, popularity. They have cool, comfortable couches where people can sit and work. They have great Wi-Fi. They have great ambiance where, people want to be there, to be seen, right? They're pulling all these other levers that are not the coffee itself. Even the cup looks ugly compared to these two. Starbucks is playing a completely different game by leveraging different factors, and they're out competing everyone, and there's a long line out the door for Starbucks coffee. This is what Asian men need to do. We can't compete on the same playing field as everyone else out there. We need to completely change the rules and play by a different set of rules. So let me show you how that's done. For example, this is my client Victor. He's a 45-year-old psychiatrist in New York City. Now, he didn't want to get an arranged marriage, which his parents were almost forcing upon him. And for most of his 30s and 40s, he was applying white dating advice from coaches, from different programs that he joined. Right? He was actually pretty proactive in the learning dating scene. But nothing was working for him, and he thought that he just wasn't high value, right? I'm just not cool or not attractive, right? But that's not true. He's Indian, and he's older, and he's balding, and he needs a different approach than just, looks and height. After we put him through the Asian Attraction Blueprint by finding his attractive Asian character, all of a sudden he was leading with his unique character, right? So the fact that he cooks, he has a talent for that, and he's social right here, showing off his humorous side, the fact that he's bold and risk-taking and, has the balls to stand up in front of a crowd, right? And here he's athletic and active, and here he's successful and charismatic. All of these led to him getting, tons of matches. And like him saying right here, I have my hands full with Bumble and Hinge. I don't want to go on any other sites. I just can't handle it, right? He has just too many matches. He was literally canceling dates with women, okay? And the funny thing is, he actually thought that he wasn't that, cool or high value, right? He thought that cooking was kind of feminine. Maybe girls wouldn't like that. And, I'm not even famous as a comedian, so that's probably not that cool. And, right, I do Zoom calls for psychiatry at home in my, pajamas, so that's probably not that cool, right? He literally was underselling himself in his own mind. But once we brought out his attractive Asian character, everything changed. This is how you discover your attractive Asian character. It's composed of your personality, lifestyle, accomplishments, talents, and career successes. So no longer will we be competing on looks, height, or race. We're going to be leveraging these other factors that allow Asian men to stand out in a way that no other men are doing. We are fundamentally changing the rules of the game. And the truth is, everyone has attractive things within them. I've taught clients how to showcase themselves playing board games, coding, giving financial seminars, doing karate, playing pickleball, and other nerdy activities. It just comes down to being framed correctly. Okay, anything unattractive can be framed attractively. Anything attractive could also be framed unattractively. Okay, think about those cups of coffee. If they're all the same cup of coffee, it's just the framing of them that causes the demand to go up for one and the demand to go down for the other. You need to find your attractive Asian character to start. From there, the second step is volume, okay? Just because you have your attractive Asian character doesn't mean that women are going to automatically start flocking to you. You need to create a volume of opportunities to meet face-to-face with women so that they can actually interact with this new attractive character that you have. Most guys, if they just had volume, they would easily find a woman who likes them just via the numbers game. Most men are just suffering from obscurity. They don't even have a chance to encounter with women. And the fastest and easiest way to get a ton of volume, okay, is online dating. Unlike other methods, the advantage of online dating is that not only are you gonna get a ton of opportunities very, very quickly, the women are already warm to you. Meaning, when you're meeting a woman from a dating app who's agreed to a date, when you meet in person with her, she is already warm to you. She's already friendly. She's already excited to meet you. Say you were to approach a girl on the street or, at the nightclub and she's with her friends and she's drunk and, the reason you're getting rejected from that is because she's not there to meet you. She doesn't know anything about you. She's not excited to meet you, right? You're a complete stranger to her. Or if you were, trying to ask out a woman in your social circle, right? Chances are it's going to get really awkward because, you're in a social circle together. You're by definition friends, right? If you want to take it to the next level with her, it's a big risk. In online dating, it's completely anonymous. You can fail, you can screw up many, many times, but you're going to actually succeed more times than not because the women are on there because they also want to date. They're matching with you because they're interested in you. And when you meet them face to face, they're warm already. Let me tell you about my client, Francis, okay, who is a 39-year-old doctor in New York City. And he literally thought that no women liked him. Prior to working together, he literally had no experiences with women. And when I asked him, I was like, how many dates are you going on, per, month, let's say? He said he was going on 2 dates per year, okay? So after we transformed him, literally he says here, I had a first date. It was at home. We had dinner together and we watched a movie until we had sex. Here he said that he had 3 first dates in 1 day. Glad I didn't get their names or other details about them confused. Literally, his volume exploded. He started setting up 3 to 4 dates every single week. He had to cancel on women because he had no time for his personal stuff, which made women chase him even more. And just by increasing his volume, he saw that, there are a ton of women out there who like me. I just wasn't even crossing paths with them before. That's what volume did for Francis. And the point here is, right, you need a consistent way of meeting new women. There's no better and faster method to meet new women than online dating. And the last and final pillar, communication. Okay, so we started with attractive Asian character, we had volume, and now we're at communication. Communication is key to making women want to sleep with you and date you, right? Once you're in person with them, you need to be able to talk to them the right way, and this also applies to texting. So most Asian men, however, because of our upbringing and our culture, we're doing this completely wrong, which leads us to getting ghosted, friend zoned, or just never getting past the first date. So, there's 3 keys to communication, right? I'm gonna break this down really slowly. Comfort, attraction, and moving it forward, okay? You need all 3 of these in order for the woman to sleep with you and date you, see you as dating material, right? The first one is comfort, okay? This is the baseline, and it's pretty simple. You just need to be polite, friendly, and respectful. And Asians got this down, okay? We have this down. Our culture raises us to be really good at this, and that's really good. It's very, very much necessary, but if that's all you are, you will end up in the friend zone. And this is what's happening. If you're ending up in the friend zone, it's because this is the only pillar that you have. You only have comfort. So you need to get the other 2 down as well. So attraction is the second one, right? Attraction is that zing that happens between a man and a woman, right? Kind of like this, where you can tell there's something going on. It's kind of unspoken. What is it? You can't put your finger on it, but they're about to kiss, right? And it's like a rubber band snapping. These 2 people are basically playing this game with this rubber band, pulling it until boosh, it snaps. That's when the kiss happens, that's when the sex happens. And it's this unspoken game that happens between a man and a woman via their eye contact, their body language, their vocal tonality, the way they look at each other and talk to each other, that it's like a secret language, okay? So once you learn to stretch this rubber band, it will snap every single time. There's no rubber band that won't snap if you learn to stretch it. And that's the art of attraction that Asian men must learn on top of comfort in order to have women wanting to kiss them, have sex with them, to date them, right? And finally, Asian men need to know how to move it forward. okay? Most Asian guys are kind of like this guy right here, who is oblivious to the girl's signs. And it's really not, your fault, because we were raised to just be focused on school and math homework, and we weren't out there partying. We weren't out there going to dances and socializing and having girlfriends at age, 14, right? So most of us are oblivious to the signs when girls give us either signs of interest or signs of disinterest. But even if we knew that they were interested in us, most Asian guys don't know the right move to make or are scared about making that move. And that's perfectly normal, right? That's perfectly normal. But it's pretty simple to read her signs and then make the right move at the right time, like, this guy right here. And if you just know the general framework, the general rules for moving it forward, you'll be able to move it forward smoothly with every single girl. And that's what's ultimately going to get that girl to end up in bed with you, end up as your girlfriend, ending up, together, and her not getting sort of disinterested because you don't know when to make the move. To recap, there's 3 keys to communication. The first is comfort, which is just being polite. The second is attraction, that zing, that rubber band snapping. And lastly, moving it forward the right way at the right time. If you get all 3 of these down, women will be lining up to sleep with you and date you. No longer will you ever end up in the friend zone. So let's recap the Asian attraction blueprint. First, we have the attractive Asian character. Second, we have volume, which is just opportunities face to face with women. And lastly, we have communication, okay? Taking those face to face opportunities to the next level so that it becomes sexual, so that it becomes a relationship. So where do we go from here? This is not an overnight success pill. Obviously, you have to go through the steps. But if you follow the steps, this is how you're gonna find the woman who you may spend the rest of your life with and maybe even create children with, right? This is not something you want to, throw to chance. This is not something you want to settle in, right? You definitely don't want to wake up next to, some woman a few years down the line who you're not even attracted to, you don't even like, and whoa, you have a child with her. Like, what a disaster. If you follow the steps, you're going to find success and set yourself up for, a relationship that could last for the rest of your life. At this point, I invite you to book in a call with me. It's free. It's 1 hour. And on this call, I'm going to help you create a custom game plan to reach your personal dating goals. Okay. And we're going to talk about, if it's a good fit for me to personally help you reach these goals. But whether you join the Asian Dating Academy or not, the game plan is yours to keep. Okay. I want to make sure that you walk away without all the confusion that's in your mind right now, knowing, do I go left? Do I go right? Like, what is it that I actually need to do to reach my dating goals? And that's what I'm going to give to you on this call. So very much looking forward to talking to you. Use the link down below to book in that free call, and I'll talk to you about this custom game plan. And just to wrap this up, here's a couple of examples of clients who have found success through the Asian Dating Academy. Feel free to click pause here if you want to just read through them one by one on your own time. But the Asian Dating Academy is not something that you'll regret joining. The coaching is world class. Our community is absolutely on fire. Clients are posting in there daily, helping each other, sharing their wins, sharing what things they've learned, supporting each other, and even meeting each other in person. It's amazing. It's even inspiring for me to see. So, the Asian Dating Academy has helped already over 100 Asian men. So, very much excited for you to book in a call, talk with me about it, see if it's a good fit for you, and see if it's something that we would be able to help you with. So with that being said, again, feel free to click pause on this just to read it through, book in a call down below using the link, and I'm excited to talk to you.